vraag vir die wat moes wag so 'n bietjie. En ek weet in die volgende 5 minute moet 1 of 2 persone gaan as gevolg van die tyd van die dag. En ons gaan vir hulle heel eerstens vra om hulle net voor te stel aan wie hulle is. But let me thank those that can also work jammer vir die media wat so tyd moet wag. Hierdie is 'n vergadering. Grotendeels met, dis basis 'n middagete sessie, want die sekretaris-generaal is al reeds die laaste 2 dae sy in die veld op alle plekke. So, ons het gesê om 'n paar persone van die gemeenskap, veral die Afrikaans-sprekende gemeenskap, op die Kaapse vlakte en dis meer, om net met paar te ontmoet, van hulle werksaam die ANC en van hulle werk nie saam die ANC. So it's in a sense just a small body of interested individuals that try to contribute positively in the context of development in the Western Cape. So dit ons welkom ook kameraad Erik aankom, nie iemand wat niet is volgens my definitief in die Westkap nie. Jare gelede, dus ek nog 'n tronkje op die West is rondgehaald. Toen was Erik aangekom al reeds ontplooi, ik denk wel die vrienden al op die West is as lid van die parlement. En hy is nou terug as die nasionale uitvoerende komitee van Wiener wat die NEC struktuur in die Westkap kan doen. Maar voordat ons aangaan, denk ek is belangrijk dat die persone wat ons uitgenooi, om miskien net kortliks hulle self te introduce, who you are, but also your organization that you come from. En ek wil begin by die persone wat nou na die master is.
Chairman, thank you for allowing me. I'm MJ Benjamin, representing the Keep the Dream Malay Choir Board.
And tell us more about who they are.
The choir board is, and I'm going to be very frank, I'm a DA, was a DA. And what happened there is that I took my guys to support them. But in the interim, I discovered, as the president of the board, I discovered we put 1 step forward and 10 steps back. And I decided 2 years ago that we come over to the ANC. Now the reason that I'm saying so, because when the Koen Carnival, when we had a meeting with them 2-3 years ago, they promised us that we will walk up at the street and Wake Street, right through Rose Street, as usual all the years. But then on the eve of the carnival, they decided we walk to Bree Street and stop there and get in the bus and go back. So when we questioned them that they don't deliver, then they gave me an answer that they took the Koen Carnival up on Rose Street, Wake Street. I said, yeah, but we stop at Bree Street. So they said to me, that is for the start. The longer you were them, they will get us into a Rose Street. But I was a junior of 7-10 years old. I lived in this area. That we walk right through. In fact, we walk back and front. So, when I had a meeting with my organization, I said...
And how many people are you representing?
The Malay only Board. We have 54 clubs. The average is about 60 guys per club. And the Koen Carnival, they can speak for themselves. But I want to mention, in case they don't mention it, I'm the biggest in the whole of South Africa. My troop is 2,500 members.
Your own troop?
My own troop, yeah. And this year, coming now, New Year, in fact, next year, New Year, we will go up to 3,000. So, I brought them over to the ANC. I have delivered already my forms, and in the next week or two, I'll deliver another 1,000. So that is the farm I came from. And I got to leave for Moss, next 5 minutes. I went to my friend.
Is anyone else that have to do that?
Yeah, Mr. Island, representing Capital Groups of Carnival Association. Previously aligned with the DA. We did the campaigning for the DA in the past election. Disillusion, we didn't come to the party, we were concerned. We're representing plus minus 30 troops with an average of about 500, with Mr. Koch being the biggest group in our village, so we need something like almost 8,000 to 9,000 gunners to the table from the Western Cape.
And that's predominantly Cape Flats.
That's just Cape Flats. All over, we are situated all over the Western Cape, as far as into the rural areas. But in the Western Cape, it's all the areas. And we aligned ourselves with the ANC now, and we'll take that forward from here. Thank you very much. I think we have to leave now to go to mosque. Thanks.
Excuse me, back.
Ja. Kan ons dan net dan aan ons regterkant begin en net omgaan? Ek wil net seker gemaak het kan ons aan my regterkant nie die persoon wat sal praat miskien nie te veel regs.
Yes. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I've always maintained, I'm not a member of the ANC, but I've always maintained that if you are sick, you go to the doctor, not to your friend. Other people, to a large extent, economically, financially, in terms of a lot of things, you can equate with a sick patient. The only person who's in power who can change their position, their circumstances, I realize is that who is in power, governing power. The ANC, they in power. And I had proof of this in 2011. I had a meeting on the 1st March. I did a deputation consisting of Dr. Titans, Professor Bredenkamp, and a few other of my members, to speak to the ANC Western Cape and members of the Youth League. I pointed out to them the problems we have with the equity legislation. And I said, we are not happy with the way it's being applied by correctional services and other government institutions which discriminate against colored people. After those discussions, it led to a meeting with the Secretary General, Mr. Mantashe, if you can recall, where he agreed with me. He said that the act wasn't formulated, he said, nicely. But I mustn't worry, there's still opportunity to amend the amendment, to bring it in line more with what the Triple B. By the way, I'm the Deputy President of the Triple B, of which Dr. Danny Titus is the President. It stands for Brain Bemachtigen Bewegen. But he kept his word, the ANC kept their word, and I want to say to them, thank you. We objected, number one, that black people who are from other states in Africa who acquired South African citizenship after 94, they would also have been considered as designated employees, which means they would have qualified for jobs ahead of the queue of colored people. The second thing we complained about was the issue of, do you use national demographics or do you use provincial demographics? Well, the amendment to the Act, which at the time was in a form of a bill, was going to remove provincial demographics and only apply national demographics. So it's not the DA who should get all the praises that this has been changed. Those two, Triple B already spoke to the ANC about it 2 years ago. So the new Act, Equity Law, has removed the provision that foreign blacks who acquired South African citizenship after 1994 would qualify for affirmative action, and it has retained the provision that they must consider both the provincial and national demographics. Those two I'm very happy about. I am here because there's a few other things I would like to discuss with them, but I'm also here to say thank you very much. I know the whole section of 42, and the media must take note of this. Section 42 of the Act has been changed with the consent of the DA, which actually surprised and shocked me, because those sections said you must take into account the person's ability and the pool of qualified people, blah, 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 when you make a decision. That is no more in the new Act, but I can't blame the ANC and the government. The opposition went along with it. The DA voted for it. You don't have to explain to the people in the election what their position on it is. I'm concerned here about a few things, but I will speak to them later about it. But I'm here in my capacity as a Triple B's Deputy President, and I appreciate the fact that Marius, you invited me.
Good afternoon, I'm Andre Jacobs. I'm the leader of the Nationalist Coloured Party, the latest new kid on the block. It has been a long time coming since the coloured people of the Western Cape, in particular, stood up and contested the elections. We've been left out for too long. We've been left out from a prominent role in the government, not only in the Western Cape, but also nationally. In terms of the demographics of South Africa, the coloured population represents at least 10% of the populace. So we would like to see a more prominent role played by coloured people within government. We are here today to render support to a constructive discussion, progressive, and we will work with whoever is in government to achieve our common purpose, which is a united South Africa. So thank you for the invitation.
Yes, thank you. I'm not going to say much. We have lots of people around here, but as long as you people know, I'm a person that knows where my heart belongs, and that's the reason I'm here today. Currently, I am Khara Samuel. Trademark. And I changed my name to Auntie G because when they say Khara, everybody looks around and then I need to stand for hours. But be that as it may, currently I belong to a group called Cape, which is Cape People's Entrepreneurs Chambers, and specifically looking at cooperatives in the Western Cape. The national government has a pilot project at the moment where we are a JV to another company, and we are training cooperatives. That 155 cooperatives are in this pilot project with 775 members. It goes over to 2015 where these people still need training. I actually want to thank the ANC and specifically Deputy Minister Marius for inviting me to a trip to Korea, and another colleague of mine here 2 weeks ago, where only cooperatives was discussed. So you will hear so much about cooperatives and with the help and support of the ANC. I thank you.
You used to be a former mayor.
Good day to everybody. I'm not going to say much because Khara speaks for us. I'm Faiza Hardeen. I'm from Cape, the Cape People's Entrepreneurs Chambers. And, you know, this is very exciting times for South Africa with the cooperatives, because this is an opportunity that the ANC created from national government. And, you know, I just want to really put this little thing on the table. I watched TV the other night and I looked at these West Coast people with their own boats. And I mean, you know, it brought tears to my eyes to think that something is really being done here. So, you know, people can say what they want to say, but things are really happening.
And you're from the area called West Cape?
That is correct. The Wild West. And Delta, of course.
Good day, my name is Dennis Peterson, Executive Director of Kaapse Carnival Association. And firstly, we need to thank the ANC for assisting us, whereby we've discovered recently, to our greater members in the Western Cape, our people are so blinded with the points of the tactics that the DA used. So we were lucky to prove to them that the DA never delivered for our people. The first premier that actually changed the thing for us was Ibrahim Rasool. So on that technique, we could convince our members that the ANC is really the party to assist us.
How many
And we sit with a basic membership of about 20,000.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Shabadin Becker. I'm representing the Cape Town Municipal Town Association. The Stemminers and Momberg is abroad at the moment and will be back on Monday. Thank you to the ANC, to our Western Cape Chairperson, Marius L Fransman, and the rest for inviting us. The Cape Town Municipal Farm Association is the largest farm association in the Western Cape. On board the association, we've got about between 30 to about 50 odd teams, and it's widely supported throughout the region. And there's no competition between ourselves or any other group, I think our systems and continuity is essential towards sustainable development. But most importantly, is that we need the best and the proper government to look after God's children. And we believe that ANC is the way to go. It has shown us as the municipals, that there is growth and there is opportunity, towards looking after our culture. So in light of that, we believe that this is the vehicle towards looking after the rest of the Western Cape and the country.
I'm Bishop Hawkins. My name is Raymond Hawkins. I represent the City of Grace out in Bella on the Cape Flats, and I'm excited for the future ahead of us. I support the ANC with all my heart. Thank you.
I'm Bishop Theo Noble. I'm the founder and the president of the New Covenant Christian Church. And I'm a great supporter of the Deputy Minister and of the ANC, and so I will contribute more as we continue the discussion.
Hi, thank you. My name is Khalid Eshop. I'm a member of the ANC in the Western Cape and I'm a part of the working team. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Bishop Dr. Philip Jones. I'm representing the Apostolic Embassy and Foundation. I'm appointed from Ghana downwards to South Africa to oversee, to manage, and to venture. I've got over 1,000 pastors in our group, and I've preached not only the gospel, I also preach the politics, because I think if we can lead and direct our people also on the political path, the ANC will go much further. I am 3,000% supporter of this one.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Jacobs from the northern suburbs. I'm a businessman out that way. I've been invited, and thank you very much for the invitation. My reason for being here is to see and understand why I should be voting for the ANC. Thank you.
My name is Isabel Motia. I am the Vice Chairperson of the Metro Social Economic Development Forum and also on the provincial structure of the Western Cape Social Economic Development Forum. My job is to ensure that women are empowered and that women, all the issues women have are addressed, and I work very closely with my colleagues.
My name is Wesley Battis. I'm a former Member of Parliament for the African Christian Democratic Party, now with the ANC. I'm representing the Western Cape Economic Development Forum today. The forum is representative of civil society structures throughout the Western Cape, and it represents everybody from unions to faith-based organizations, businesses, black business chambers, etc. We focused on transformation. We just launched a campaign called the Economic Equality Charter. The Economic Equality Charter basically focuses on large white-owned companies that have been found guilty of corporate collusion and of black business exclusion. And what we have done is we have started a campaign to boycott them, divest from them, and we are calling on them to make sure that at least 50 to 60% of the procurement is from black business. And we have done very well in this. We've just had a campaign against Pioneer Foods. We met with their board this week, and they've concurred with us that we are right. We have an agreement with them that their procurement policies will change.
And we're now moving on to Murray and Roberts next. So this campaign has gone very well, and we've got a lot of support from the community around it. And we are focused on making sure that we have economic transformation in this generation.
I'm Commissioner Mandale. I'm actually from Johannesburg, but I like Cape Town so much that I'm here for and to put the power into the right hand when it comes from the Greek Corona.
Commissioner of the Greek Corona House, and I'm also a member of the ANC. So that's why I'm here to support it.
Good name, Carl Kenneth Visser. I'm a commissioner of the Greek Royal House. I'm a member of the African National Congress, also a member of Controlese.
Today my name is Aaron Messenar. I'm from the Greek Royal House. I'm the head administrator of the Greek Royal House. I'm also the chairperson of Controlese in Mr. K. And I'm a proud Greek.
Don't take my time.
Ek is Sulle Nijsgoed, ek kom van die Weskus af, ek het Weskus groot geword. Ek het nou onlangs vir Marius gejoin. Ek het 'n groot probleem as mense vir my jok, vir my lief, oor dinge wat gebeur, en dis mense veer op jou plaas, en dis wat ons, die wit mense, gebeur het. Ek dink baie is vir ons, they've lied to us. They've placed fear on us about what the black people will do to us when they take over, and we have believed them, and nothing has happened. So I'm here to bring the white people in.
I think it gives you a little bit of a sense of the type of audience that's here. En ek dink die rede waarom ons gesê het ons wil so 'n ligte middagsessie, want daar is baie keer vrae, daar is baie keer issues, daar is baie keer vrees wat mense het. Ek sien vir Pastoor Petersen daar agter, is it Randall Petersen?
Randall, that's correct.
Randall essentially met me via Facebook, and he was until very recently a leader of, or actually an elections manager for Coke.
That's correct.
In the Western Cape, and he, after discussions, he agreed that he would want to give support to us. And I think the type of audience that you've got is not all people that are, as you picked up just in the initial process, that are necessarily members of the ANC. And here and there, there's people that, for example, said that they are members, and if one interrogate that, you'll know that it's only 6 months ago that they actually decided to support. So this is even, I think, a few remarks from your side and a bit of interaction.